Bonjour à tous. If you're joining us for the first time, my name is Madame Ugo, your unconventional online French tutor. Join me today as I unpack the lesson on the conjugation of our irregular verbs in French. In the last lesson, we looked at our third group verbs, and today we are going to be looking at our irregular verbs. Please pay very attention to this lesson, as this group of verbs that we're going to be talking about today play a very vital role in helping you to also understand the future grammatical conjugations you're going to be learning. And as a result, it is important that we pay careful attention to the topic of today. Please, in order to support what we are doing, you can help us to like our videos, share, comment, and also send to your friends and loved ones to join you in learning French. All right, so like I said, the irregular verbs that we are going to be talking about today, I will be focusing first on the verbs that we call avoir. So this verb means to have. And we have être. The verb être means to be. And the last but not the least, we have aller. Aller means to go. Now, from their name, irregular, you would see there would be enormous change when we conjugate them. The way majority of these verbs will appear in the first person conjugation, second person conjugation, third person conjugation is going to differ tremendously. So it's important that we pay attention. So I will start with the first verb, which is the verb to have. So to conjugate the verb to have, so I have in French, I have. J'ai. This means I have. It also means I am having. Then we have the to are. This means you have. It also means you are having. He has. Il a. Remember that il also means it. So that expression can also mean it has. This can also mean he is having. It can also mean it is having. We have. Nous avons. So this means we have or we are having. Vous avez. This means you have. This can also mean you are having. And the plural, the last one, they have. Ils ont. This means they have. And this can also mean they are having. So, I am going to do two things. I would use each of these verbs in making the general sentences. And I am going to add another spin to this. And the reason is that there are expressions in French where French people will use the verb avoir, where English people will use the verb être. Remember that this verb means to have. So there are certain expressions where French we use to have, English we use to be. And I will talk about that much later. So let's look at some of the sentences using the verb avoir in constructing the expressions. So I hope by now we would have either taken our screenshot or taken our notes as we wipe off the board. So here are examples using the verb to have. So I want to say he has a truck. So he has a truck would be il a un camion. He has a truck. I want to say I have a dog. I have a dog will be j'ai un chien. We have a meeting today. We have a meeting today. So this expression becomes nous avons une réunion aujourd'hui. So these are the common examples using the verb to have. Remember, I said earlier that there are instances where French people would use the verb to have, where English people will be using the verb to be. This is also another area that makes students to fail, especially when they do not have that when they do not have that in-depth comprehension about these facts, and also trying to employ them in their work, especially in their writing and in their speaking. So typical examples are: one, expression of age; another one, expression of hunger; another one, expression of thirst; another one, expression of luck; expression of need; okay? Another common one is when we want to say there is or there are. So expression of age, expression of hunger, expression of thirst, expression of luck, expression of need, and there is. Where French people are using the verb to have, English people are using the verb to be. A typical example. So if French people want to use age in making expression, you conjugate the verb avoir plus the age. If French person wants to make an example using expression of hunger, you will use the verb avoir plus hunger. And thirst, you will use avoir plus thirst. And luck, you will use avoir de la chance. And for need, avoir besoin. Avoir besoin de. And there is, French will say il y a. And here are examples. So I want to say, for example, she is 45 years old. A French person will say she has 45 years old. And she has is elle a. It conjugates the same way the he conjugates. So you will say elle a 45 ans. This is, she is 45 years. This is to have. It is not the verb to be. The verb to be is the verb that we're going to conjugate next. So you want to say, I am hungry. I am hungry in French. You would naturally think, because it is I am, therefore you should use the verb to be. No. French will say I have hunger. So I am hungry in French is interpreted as I have hunger, and which is j'ai faim. Okay? Expression of thirst. I want to say you are thirsty. So French will say you have thirst. So I will use the informal you, and you are thirsty becomes to soif. Expression of luck. I want to say we are lucky. French people will say we have of the luck. So this is the way French will interpret. We are lucky. French will say, nous avons de la chance. And the last but not the least, yes, we are number 5. So expression of need, avoir besoin de. So French wants to say, for example, they need a house. So they need a house. French will say they have need of a house. And they have need, they have is ils ont. So this becomes ils ont besoin d'une maison. So this becomes they need a house. And the last but not the least, wherever you see any sentence in French that starts with there, it comes from il y a. That's pretty much that. It's either going to be il y a des, okay? If it is in plural, that is there are, okay? Don't forget. So I want to say there is an adult in the room. So there is an adult in the room. There is an adult in the room becomes il y a un adulte dans la salle. And if I want to say there are adults in the room, there are adults. Okay? Or let's say there are adults here. So this becomes il y a des adultes ici. And these are the expressions where French will use the verb avoir and English people will use the verb to be. I wouldn't want to make today's lecture longer than necessary. In our next lesson, in lesson 9, we are also going to be looking at the conjugation of the verb to be and the conjugation of the verb to go. Until I catch you next time, please try to watch the videos over and over again. Try to make some examples with the verb that we have conjugated today. And also do not forget to share, comment, and like. Until we see you another time. Bye for now.